Tonight, you are checking out Breakfast Super Raw.
Bon appetit as Don, Tony, and Mish dish out their opinions about the world of pro wrestling, sports, news, and pop culture. Breakfast Super Raw.
And now, your host, Mish and Don Tony.
What's up, everybody? Hope everybody had a great weekend. We're back to Monday nights, August 16th, 2021. Welcome to this edition of Breakfast Soup Raw. I am Don Tony. He is
Don Tony.
Don Tony. I'm a little tongue-tied right now, a little dehydrated.
I gotcha. Must be all that Lilly tonight. I'm Anthony Missionary Thomas. What's going on, DT? What's going on, everyone in the chat? Hope you guys are doing well.
We're not even 2 minutes in, and in the background, I drank this much already.
That's a lot of vodka.
Yeah, right. I'm a little shungada tonight. We're gonna speed up this show a little bit quicker today. For those that follow me on Twitter at Don Tony D, you saw this earlier today. Did I take a screenshot of it? No, I didn't even bother taking a screenshot. This Thursday, why not? I was the first podcaster to be vaccinated. Why not be the first podcaster to get 3 shots? This Thursday, I go for the 3rd Moderna vaccine shot because of my prostate issues and a few other things. My doctor recommended it to me today.
They are? Already?
Yeah. They announced it. My doctor called me up this morning, and she said, I strongly suggest you, your mother, and your father go get the 3rd shot. Obviously, everybody knows their situation, but since, I got some issues with the prostate and a few other things that I need to address, she said, you're a little immunocompromised. Go get the 3rd shot. So Thursday at 12:30, I am going to Stop and Shop because the place where I originally got the 1st and 2nd shot isn't doing shots anymore. So I will have a 3rd vaccine, and I'll let everybody know. I'll tell you the truth. I am going to do a YouTube clip because I know none of the shit that we do really go viral because, I admit it, a lot of our great discussions I should make into videos of themselves. So a lot of our gems don't get noticed, in search results, which is fine. But I am going to document getting a 3rd shot and let everybody know how I feel and what it's like. And I'll post it.
Are you worried about it considering how the 2nd shot affected you or no?
I didn't even think twice. I trust my doctor. She said, get the 3rd shot. I said, yeah, no problem. My mom's not doing it this week because she's got to go for a sleep apnea test on Thursday. She's got a machine already, a CPAP, but, they want to see where she's at right now. So she's got to go for a sleep study Thursday night. So, we'll see what happens. So for all of you who tune in on Thursdays, I'll let you know Thursday night how I feel. Now, very quickly, tonight, we're going to pick a winner for this. And don't forget, nobody claimed this last week, so we're going to give that away also tonight. Size extra large on the Huskus, the pig shirt. I got to show you this, Mish, because I showed it to everybody last Thursday on the unboxing. For all of you out there that are Bray Wyatt fans, no joke. Now, I'm giving one away tonight, but I liked it so much when I unboxed this last Thursday, I bought one for myself too. This is the new FOCO Bray Wyatt bobblehead that WWE put out just now. And this is all ceramic. This is all ceramic. It's like resin. I think resin might be the better word to put it. But you actually screw the foot underneath so it stays situated. I think this is pretty freaking cool detail.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's from WrestleMania. I mean, obviously the outcome was kind of crappy, but Yeah, we're going to give one away tonight.
Cool.
So, pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I hook you up if you want
sure.
one. Yeah,
I think people would like that. I think that's a fun little prize. I mean, especially now, even if you're not a fan of Wyatt, let's be honest, you're not going to get those once it's done, it's done. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
So we'll do that around midnight, and I always, from now on, will announce approximately when we're going to do the contest. I don't think it's fair to lead people on and make them sit and wait an hour, 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I'm telling you pretty much exactly the time we're going to do it. So very quickly, we'll do that later on, and we'll go from there. Now, tonight, we're going to talk about Raw, talk about a few other things as well. I just got to mention this quickly because once again, this just shows everybody out there, you learned from the Keith Lee stuff. I mean, we really went and dissected that last Thursday. You had those websites in big, bold letters. The real reason why Keith Lee was pulled from Elimination Chamber, why he was off TV, why he was this, and this. They got every aspect of it wrong. And did anybody notice something that happened this weekend? Nothing changed with WWE and NXT or Triple H or Vince McMahon. All of those people that got it grossly wrong about Keith Lee all shifted to NXT and Triple H and this and this and this and this and this. I think the investors would love to know if Triple H was demoted that long ago. We told everybody out there, and I'm sorry for repeating this, but Mish and I told all of you February or March of last year that NXT needed to go back to its roots. It needed to do what it used to do, developing young stars of tomorrow, and do what brought Bayley and Sasha Banks NXT TakeOver Brooklyn.
Absolutely.
And you know what's funny too? Like we have these dark matches going on. And, I was doing some research. Baron Corbin, dark match before SmackDown 2015. Charlotte Flair, dark match. Elias, Samoa Joe. Others had dark matches at Raw or SmackDown when they were on the NXT roster.
Right.
Them going back to pre-recorded is what they used to do. Little by little, you are realizing they're not destroying this. They're not gutting it. WWE gutted the XFL. They gutted Ico Pro. You can't even use Raw Underground because of COVID, but they don't gut investments in tomorrow. How the hiring process goes forth might be a little bit different. But they're not gutting anything. And all these people that are using all these bait words to draw you in, they're wrong. And then what about all these people that were telling you, WWE may go back to ThunderDome? They just announced.
Dude, you know what, though? I'll be fair to that. I actually thought that was a reasonable request, considering that they're obviously, in New York, I know in September there's going to be a lot of shutdowns for public events. I think that one's just kind of a gimme, and that's not necessarily against WWE. That's kind of like what's supposedly on the horizon for a lot of us in different states and cities and stuff. So.
Left Twix, I just busted your left nut. Here's your hand job. NXT is almost out of business. Other people saying that WWE is dying. You got 70,000 that are going to be at SummerSlam. They just launched more NFTs. Goofy, man.
Just the idea that people think that WWE is falling apart is just a goofy response,
It's just, like I said, it sucks that the in thing now is when it comes to praising AEW, it's cake and ice cream. I did a little experiment last Wednesday, and I talked to two people that I trust about this, and they both said to me, like, I don't know if that's a good idea. I did something different last Wednesday. I put a thumbnail up, and instead of recapping NXT and AEW on the thumbnail, I posted Darby Domino's dark. And it had to do with Darby Allin with those accusations. Domino's Pizza fallout, an advertiser for Warner Media, and AEW allowing their wrestlers to bash an advertiser for Warner Media. And then the Max Caster stuff and the way it was handled. You know, people allowing Tony Khan to get away with, oh, I was in the back doing other things. Okay, what about the fact that your entire roster that did hear it, that it was booming on the loudspeakers in the back when it went down for the whole 6 days? Nobody said, I don't know if this should pass. Everybody that was live, nobody went on social media with phones or this and that. Oh my God, did you hear what awful stuff this guy said? Nobody said a damn thing. So I purposely put that out there because it was more of a serious convo. Like, AEW's got to be careful about this stuff. They're about CM Punk. The countdown is here. CM Punk is debuting. And for those that missed this today, CM Punk posted this. If you don't know what that means, those are the summers of Punk. 2005, Ring of Honor. 2011, WWE. 2021, soon to be All Elite. You have AEW's got so much momentum. They got to be careful about little missteps like this. And I put that thumbnail to be, and it was the least receptive, thumbnail of anything that I've done. And it was designed that way because, unfortunately, when it comes to AEW, if I put that out there, a lot of people, oh, no, cake and ice cream only, please. Please, we just want to dance and play with balloons and be all happy. But when it comes to WWE, if you praise things, then it's almost sacrilegious. But if I just write in simple letters as a thumbnail, fuck Bruce Pritchard, fire Vince, die Vince, yeah, hundreds of people, yeah. Look at Goldberg tonight. Goldberg doing the Sun promo again.
Right.
And right before we go live, I'm just checking out social media, just see the responses to it. And you got people that do have some name value at what they do. That's the polite way of not saying the word goof. And they're all ripping the shit out of Goldberg, ripping him apart, making fun of him, making fun of his son, putting him down. And they know that WWE is the one that wanted in that direction. They didn't say, Bill, go out there, say whatever you want. They don't do that. They know damn well that Goldberg is not in control to take that narrative. WWE had tweets already ready.
It's the easy clout. It's the easy clout to jump on the hate bandwagon. It's always been that way. WWE isn't special. You could take sports, you could take politics, you could take whatever. It's always a lot easier to be in the cool group by hating stuff, as opposed to being a critic and actually having a weighted response to the things that are going on. If you take a positive and a negative approach at the same time and you weigh them out, that is far less popular than just saying, fuck WWE. You know?
I'm serious. I'm if it wasn't for the fact that, I might have the opportunity to work for a wrestling company part-time in the very near future. I'm trying, look, the way I act publicly now is me. It's not, enhanced. It's not, trying to make myself something that it's not. But, I'm not going to even tease just to see what kind of, because you don't know how many times I want to just write a tweet and say, fuck Vince McMahon. Fuck Bruce Pritchard. That's it. Nothing else. That's it. As people do. Fuck Bruce Pritchard. That's the tweet. That's actually right. That's the tweet. Just to see what kind of response to prove a point. But then it's like, I don't want shit like that out there. Ridiculous. What's not ridiculous is this. RKBro are back together. I tell you, man, I look at Raw tonight, not a spectacular Raw, but I go down the list.
Good. I mean, maybe not spectacular, but it was pretty good. There was definitely
that's what I was going to say. RKBro, enjoyed it. AJ Styles and Omos, absolutely. I like it a lot. Mansoor and Ali, I like it. I even like the fact that I started thinking about this the other day, and, you know, I tweeted this, and then somebody sent me a DM with a screenshot of something that aired after. I'm even enjoying the Nikki A.S.H character right now.
Oh, well, that's just you. I thought you were going to say I'm even enjoying Johnny Drip Drip and The Miz having a little back and forth with Damian Priest, because that also was a lot of fun, too.
Yeah.
So
that's where I'm going with this.
America's Most Wanted. I want that fucking dude. I got to buy that shirt. When that goes up, America's Most Wanted. Oh, I need a fucking
dude. They're gold. They're gold, and people don't even realize it. You know what's going to happen? They're going to split them up, and then 3-4 months later, people will be like, "What the fuck they split them up for? The fuck."
I thought they were teasing that tonight, but they went right back to being buddy afterwards. I don't know, man. I don't think you split them up. I think you have them maybe even fight, but you don't split them up. I think that would be weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not on the level of, I mean, don't get me wrong. Obviously, WWE has split up great tag teams before. Edge and Christian, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. They have no problems splitting up these deep tag teams. But I don't know, man. I mean, unless Maurice is going to come around, unless somebody else comes around for The Miz, I still stand by that story about my opinion from even years ago. The Miz does best when there's a catalyst with him. So if you took Jomo away, what has The Miz got? What has The Miz got?
Jomo needs somebody to bounce off of also.
Absolutely. And they do well together. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like splitting up New Day at this point. And we've talked about this, and obviously Big E really isn't a part of New Day anymore, even though he's still a member. You know what I mean? But it's been thrown out into the ether before. Split up New Day. What would happen if we split up New Day? What would happen to WWE? What would happen to these guys if we split up New Day? So it's not like it hasn't been thought of before, but could you imagine them splitting up New Day? No. Can you imagine them splitting up the Usos? No. So I think Miz and Morrison kind of fall into that, even though The Miz has a lot more of a storied career than John Morrison does. I think The Miz is absolutely critical to keeping John Morrison's career afloat, and vice versa.
Absolutely.
They really do complete each other. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, I want to just quickly, because I think some people might think I might not be feeling well tonight. When I said that I am even liking Nikki A.S.H right now, it is not that she's doing a good job. It's something else. James Campbell.
Oh.
What's going on, my brother? I know that I got to fix that. So the next one that pops up, I'll fix it. We'll get into super chats in a minute too. The reason why I'm talking about Nikki A.S.H is because of something I tweeted earlier today. You know, I don't have the thumbnail in front of me, but about a month ago, I did a thumbnail and I wrote almost a crowd reaction. Almost a crowd reaction. And we got into pretty good detail at that time that it just feels like she's not over. Now, I proved the point. When they turned her into the superhero, you and I had a pretty deep discussion about it. And I said, let's see a month or two from now what her win-loss record looks like. Do you know, ever since she's been a superhero, she has not had a clean victory against anybody? Zero. There's always been a special circumstance. Oh, no DQ match. Oh, beat the clock match. Oh, this, and that. It hasn't been just a straight up one-on-one wrestling match. No distractions. No clusterfucks. She has had zero. And I've been thinking about this for the last week. And when I saw the house show results too, it pretty much cemented it to me. The reason why I am enjoying Nikki A.S.H's character right now is because I have a real gut feeling that WWE is going to have her turn on the fans. This almost a superhero is getting under people's skin. And I'm telling you, the more she pulls that stuff, look at the sign behind her. Not my hero. Not my hero.
Well, there's a few little facets that I want to throw out there that WWE did tonight. I forgot which announcer it was. It might have been Corey Graves, that immediately made the connection for the fans, saying she doesn't represent superheroes. She represents people trying to achieve their dreams or whatever. So they made the clear distinction that that Nikki A.S.H isn't an actual superhero, that WWE isn't making a goofy, she actually flies in her off time kind of superhero. They made it very clear tonight in the announcing that she's just a person that represents, the strength in all of us. The second thing that happened, which was Charlotte Flair quoting you, where she directly said multiple times, "What is almost a superhero? What does that mean?" And I kind of laughed, because then afterwards she's like, but I am what I am, and that's all what I am. And I'm snickering at this, but I'm like listening to Charlotte. I'm like, yeah, she's reiterating what DT said. What the hell is almost a superhero? It's like almost a champion, almost a winner. Like, what does that mean? And I'm like, well, that's a great point, Charlotte. Sounds familiar. Sounds like I've heard it for the last couple of weeks. So good on them for that. And the third little part to this that's, I guess they've kind of cleared up that now that WWE has allowed them to admit that she's not a superhero, I can finally just forgive the butterfly stuff, because there's been this stupid conspiracy theory that apparently the fact that she has a butterfly on her chest and a butterfly on her mask is supposedly they're going to bring back the Divas butterfly belt. And I'm like, oh, please don't. Please do not do that. That would be horrendous. That would be 10 steps
it's
backwards.
funny. I don't want to out the podcaster that did this. I will just give everybody a little hint. The podcaster has more subscribers than I do, and it's not JD or Jason. Because everybody goes, and it's not Joe Cronin either. Everybody goes to those three. It's none of those three. There's a podcaster out there. When Karrion Kross lost to Jeff Hardy, Mish and I went on this show. We told everybody, relax. That WWE, whether we like it or not, WWE's mentality, if you understand how WWE does what they do, you may not like it, but you'll understand it. And this is a big problem that's going on out there right now. Karrion Kross loses to Jeff Hardy. They're booking him versus Samoa Joe, who hasn't wrestled in ages. So when you have a match, the whole reason why two people have the match is you want suspension of disbelief that one person could beat the other. So how do you put any suspension of disbelief that Samoa Joe has a shot against Karrion Kross, whether you like it or not, whether we want to see Karrion Kross retain or lose? Karrion Kross is the future of WWE, not Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe is back, but Samoa Joe's not the future. So Karrion Kross loses to Jeff Hardy. So that gives the thought, wow, he could possibly lose to Samoa Joe. Then he has an awesome competitive match against Keith Lee, and he loses, but it was competitive. So again, that suspension of disbelief that Karrion Kross can be defeated. That's you have to put that thought in there. You don't do it soon, you fuck up Raquel Gonzalez also. All right. After a while, it became a big problem with Asuka, because Asuka was all the way up here and everybody else was down here. Think back at this. How many people, we talked about it too, how many people that were upset that Charlotte beat Asuka at Mania? That's how high.
That was the forgivable one.
Right,
I think
but
a
I'm
lot
just
of
saying,
people
like,
were forgivable of Charlotte, but it was the Carmella stuff that we all sat there and scratched our
Well, that
heads.
happened afterwards. But the point is this. We said all along, relax. Once they plant that seed that Karrion Kross could be beat, he will start becoming a maniac. Remember the sacrificial lamb remark that we made a few times? Sacrificial lamb. Samoa Joe, Jeff Hardy, William Regal. people who are huge baby faces and are expendable, could be sacrificial lambs. Their careers are not going to be buried or squashed because of it. So now tonight, you have Karrion Kross choke out Jeff Hardy once again. And by the way, when I saw Jeff Hardy with his visual, with his eyes, like almost like scared that he is about to be choked out, I immediately flashed back to 1995 when Waylon Mercy did almost the same exact thing to Jeff Hardy, and that is Jeff Hardy in 1995. He just has a fabulous knack of making it people think he is suffering and worried. And
Right.
I love it. But Karrion Kross has got it back, and Scarlett most likely is going to reappear Sunday. So what happens? Today, Karrion Kross beats Jeff Hardy, and everything that led up to today.
He did the right thing, too, because they had a moment there where Jeff Hardy was talking in the interview, and Kross assaults him in the middle of the interview.
Yeah.
They showed the replay of the previous weeks of Jeff Hardy and Kross. They showed how Jeff Hardy won unfairly, and then they showed Kross punishing him after the match from last week, where he still threw him into the hold and finished him off again.
Yeah.
And tonight we had a repeat performance pretty much, and that's what I'm expecting to see. It's almost as if this is what Kross is going to be. Kross is going to be the indescript persona non grata killer, and that's what he's going to do. And he's not going to stop, and he's going to keep kicking the shit out of you until he's tired of kicking the shit out of you.
Right.
And I'm okay with that.
Absolutely.
I mean, even after the match, DT, he sat there and he did one of the things that personally I like. I like a little shit talk in my matches. And he was sitting there and he was shit talking Jeff after the match while Jeff was laying on the mat. I like to see that. That's what happens in a fight. It feels right, you know?
Now, what does this have to do with that podcast I was talking about? Right after that match, this person said, I thought WWE was doing this storyline where Karrion Kross needed Scarlett to get his wins back. Now, you know why that's ridiculous? Because that was never a news report. These are people that assume they believe what is going on, and their assumptions turn into news. I thought WWE was doing this. No, WWE, there was never reports of it. That was in their heads. And when they got it wrong, they play it off that WWE changed their mind. Plans change.
Well, I mean, they could be taking shots at other shows, too. You don't know what
this was not a shot.
There's a lot of people that believed or do believe that might be the creative direction, but there's not been any news release saying that that's absolutely a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was never
like the
reports.
idea of, right, that's exactly what I'm saying. It's like there's never been a report. That's just a creative direction that fans and different shows have come up with. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong.
Right, but when you start reporting it as news that WWE changed their mind once again.
If they're reporting it as news, that's silly. So,
I know. Well, we'll stick on Raw. Because, like I said, we're gonna tighten up the show tonight a little bit. I don't know if we're taking calls tonight. You got to forgive me, because I'm a little not feeling all that great. Not burned out or nothing. I mean, we have a loaded week. Tomorrow's Patreon. Wednesday is Wednesday Night Dynamite. Thursday, Q&A. And then Friday we got the Rampage watch along. Mish, I mean, other than Kurt Angle debuting in TNA, I honestly, the last time I was this excited, and yes, Jericho was 28, CM Punk is around 40. But the last time that I was this excited, where I counted down the days of somebody debuting, was Jericho in 99.
Oh, wow. Wow.
CM Punk, I'm still holding out hope that Friday, Cult of Personality hits and Kenny Omega comes out. Kenny Omega comes out.
Like that. A little swerve for the audience,
Yeah, I don't know if Tony Khan has the balls to do something like that. Seriously, I'm not trying to say it to belittle him or criticize him. I just think he doesn't have the balls to do something like that. I expect CM Punk. Crisabel, what's up? I expect CM Punk to show up Friday. And we're doing the live watch along, and it's going to be pretty awesome to see everybody's reaction if he comes out, you know? Right. But again, we'll talk about that a little bit more later, because we got to definitely talk about the news about Andrade with AAA and Kenny Omega. We'll get into that in a little bit. I didn't count down the days, Mike, when Taz debuted in 2000. Like, we knew it was happening, you know, and we were excited, but I wasn't like, oh my God, he could debut tomorrow. Hall and Nash, you know, we weren't counting down the days. Oh my God, they could be on Nitro tomorrow. But Jericho and Kurt Angle in TNA, those are the two that I vividly remember counting it down. This is going to be the day. This is going to be the day. This is going to be the day. And I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. So, all right, before we go any further, thank you very much, Crazy Cruiserweight. Main event results. Jackson Riker over Cedric Alexander. Rinse, repeat. Ricochet over Angel Garza. So those are your main event results tonight. Nero Faye, yes, absolutely. Thoughts and prayers to everyone, not only in Afghanistan, in Haiti. Those earthquakes, oh my God, seriously. I mean, it's just horrible. Horrible, the stuff that's going on. And what sucks is, even in both countries, the amount of corruption. I mean, we have corrupted politicians here also, no question. Over here, it's white-collar crimes. Over there, you try to go against your corrupted government, you get shot and killed. You know, so absolutely near. Thoughts are with them. Shout out AS7607. She attended the virtual autograph signing to get an autograph from Marc Mero, and even won an auction for another autographed item. Marc Mero is good people, man. Marc Mero was good friends with Georgie M. Acropolis. I don't know if this will ever get back to Marc Mero, because I don't talk to him. But I will tell you, when we did the drive for Conan and we do raising some stuff for Chris Candido when he passed, you know, Marc Mero was one of the ones that reached out to Georgie Ann, especially for the Conan. If this ever gets back to Marc Mero, I'm sure he already knows this, but Georgie
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Georgie M. Acropolis.
All the years we've heard about the Conan Drive and stuff like that, I don't think I've ever heard you bring up Marc Mero before.
There's few people. I don't like singling people out, but you know, I could think back to April Hunter. I could think back to Marc Mero. I could think back to Pitbull Gary Wolf. That multiple people contacted me, you know, look, you know, you need this, anywhere I could help, any of this. A lot of people did. I don't like name dropping, but since, you know, AS7607, she brought up Marc Mero, yeah, I'm going to say it here. If this ever gets back to him, I just want him to know that Georgie M. Acropolis adored Marc Mero. Absolutely adored Marc Mero. She had nothing but beautiful things to say about that guy. So just wanted to throw it out there. Yeah, I don't usually name drop like that, but, you know, it's so many years removed. But
sure,
some very special people out there that won't get acknowledged, you know. They'll never get the acknowledgement for the good that they do. But some very good people out there. Thank you, AS7607. Joe Punches, heard your review, Mish, about Suicide Squad. A lot of people telling me, DT, now you got to watch it. You watched it and apparently enjoyed it.
Yeah, I was not expecting to go into watching that movie, enjoying it. Obviously, for people that watched the original Suicide Squad and maybe saw Birds of Prey, you might be walking into Suicide Squad, either the reboot or part 2 or whatever you want to call it, with kind of like a sour taste in your mouth because of the way that those other movies were handled. But no, James Gunn did a fantastic job. The acting was a lot of fun. The cinematography was off the wall, very good, CGI. It was all around enjoyable. You cared about the characters. There was some fun little roller coaster moments, some swerve action, and it was just really well done. It was fun, and it's a movie that you would watch definitely more than once, because there's going to be a lot of little things that you miss the
little
first
Easter
time around.
eggs.
So,
yeah.
Oh, absolutely. They did a really good job. I gave it a real high review. I gave it like a 4.5, stars, if you want to do it in the Dave Meltzer tone. But yeah, I gave it 4.5. I was really impressed with it. It was, I think, even more so impressed because I was expecting a giant turd, and it wasn't.
Okay.
So,
I haven't seen it yet, Joe, but I definitely will. My fiance wants to see it.
Joe.
This weekend she's been extremely ill. She's still here. She's normally not here on Mondays, but she's extremely ill. So, it was a little crazy this weekend, but sometime
and shout out
next
to
weekend.
Bob and Comic Crusaders. I did the show with them.
Bob,
you know him as Crisis in the Toyverse. So, yeah, much love to him and to the editors, Al, and everybody else on there for having me on. So, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Very cool. James Campbell. Do we see Omos turning on AJ from frustration of losing to RKBro, ending if they can't win the belts out of Randy's front? I do not think Omos is turning on AJ until WWE feels Omos is ready to go out on his own.
Oh, the seeds were planted tonight.
I know.
Omos wanted to jump in that ring and destroy Matt Riddle and kick the ever-living shit out of Randy Orton. And instead, AJ is flailing on the outside because Riddle went at him with high energy. He's flailing. He's falling all over the place and almost wanted to kill. And instead, he decided to pick up AJ, throw him over his shoulder, and walk out of the arena. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes, James. I don't know when they're going to break it up, but this is the first bad screw. This is the first turning of the cog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, very cool. I don't think it's going to happen soon, but this is going to start it because all you need now is for AJ to fuck up again.
Yeah.
And at some point where Omos is realizing that AJ is no longer his mentor, AJ is the weak link. You know?
We're not doing predictions tonight, but I truthfully believe Randy Orton and Riddle have to win those belts at SummerSlam. When you start thinking about all the titles that are being defended, other than one other one, women's title, Raw, I don't see other belts changing hands. I think this tag team title needs to change hands. Especially when you have 70,000 people there. Oh man, I close my eyes and I picture it and I'm like, there's no way you're not going to have, 70,000 fans at the end. Bro. Absolutely. And I kind of did the bro dance just now. So, the turn will happen. It's not now. Joe, I was trying to figure out a way to bypass this because this kind of reminds me of my dog. Our thoughts are with your wife Michaela and your daughter.
That's hard.
Yeah, they have a cat, 17 years old, Snickers, peeing on the floor, lost hearing, lack of movement. Dude, I know at least 4 people who had to put their pets down in the last week. And it's rough, man. I mean, like I said, I don't want to, this is not a Debbie Downer. I mean, you got 17 years, none of us live forever. None of us.
Yeah, my neighbor had to put down their 2 cats just this week, like back to back.
Yeah.
I don't know, Joe. I don't know, man. Yeah, thoughts and feelings with you, bro.
Listen.
It's hard. It's still a family member. It's somebody you care about. I mean, the best thing that you can do at this point is just make them comfortable. Make them as comfortable as possible. Show them how much you love them. I mean, it's all about those last moments that are important, not just for you and your wife, but also for your cat too, buddy. So.
I give this impromptu advice to everybody out there with a pet who hasn't experienced this yet. I had to put my dog down about 6 years ago, maybe 7 years ago, somewhere around there. And hardest thing I ever went through in my life to this day, I still have dreams of him, and I wake up crying. I'm tormented in my dreams that he is still alive, and it gets so real that I legitimately wake up crying sometimes. And my dog almost died because of neutral dog food, and Mish remembers it. Mish made up a banner.
I do.
You know, you want to put your dog or cat to sleep, feed them neutral dog food. And instead of them showing compassion, they threatened to sue me. And I was like, fuck you all. And I had to give my dog insulin for 6 years. 5 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock at night. My body is still fucked up from there because my body sometimes wakes up at 4:30 in the morning, and it's subconsciously time to wake up. You got to take care of your dog. And then it's not easy to go back to bed at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning when you got to get up at 8. And then when you factor in, thank God I was only doing one show at that time. But long story short, I had to bring my dog to a vet. That he was admitted for 2 weeks, and they had to inject loads and loads of water in his neck because his kidneys were failing. And after 2 weeks, my doctor said, oh, he's improving. He's improving. If you want to take him home, you could take him home. She says, the only thing is, though, is besides the insulin, you have to inject water under the scruff of his neck because he needs extra water to filter out his kidneys. I'm like, whatever needs to be done. I brought him home. He was in my house for about 6 hours. And when he tried to go to the bathroom, he fell all over the place. I will never forget to the day I die. That night, I was up until 4:30 in the morning, dripping sweat. I made a puddle in the floor of my kitchen. And I had a nervous breakdown because my dog wouldn't eat. My dog wouldn't drink. When he tried to go to the bathroom, he would just stumble all over the place. And I called the vet, and I cursed out the answering service. I said, what the fuck are you doing? How do you make me take this dog home in this condition? I realized after that it was time to say goodbye. And it's not easy for me to talk about. I was going to get his urn just to show you a picture of him now, but no, I can't.
You don't have to do that.
I can't. But the bottom line is this. This is my point for everybody out there. This is not, look, I'm not saying this for anybody to get sad and cry. My point is that I would give up almost everything I have to have a little more time with him. But after several years, I realized to myself, he was in so much pain and suffering, starting to get blind, diabetic, needles, getting loads of water injected under his neck. It was so selfish for me to insist on trying to keep him going. And the hardest thing I ever did was being on a 3-way call with my vet and a witness to tell him, put him down. And the one thing that a lot of people may not even know is I had to do the Don, Tony, and Kevin Castle show that night, and I did it just to get my mind off of it. And I was in no condition of doing it. But the point is that as bad as your pet may be, and as much as we don't want to say goodbye, if you truly love that pet, alleviate its pain. Alleviate its pain, because there's no magic pill out there. There's no magic pill that would have kept my dog, immaculate improvement. There's no magic pill for anybody's pet out there. When it gets to that point, you really gotta, as tough as it is, it's the hardest thing to do. Trust me. You'll never get over it. I'm still tormented to this day, but the only reason why I don't cry anymore when I talk about it is because subconsciously my mind is telling me, you did the right thing. You did the right thing. You did the right thing. Dog is out of his pain. Remember how he fell. Remember all the things. Remember this. You did the right thing. Took me years to feel that way. Took me years. So I've said this before. I've seen my father cry 4 times in my life. When my grandfather died, when my grandmother died, when my mother was pronounced dead twice a couple of years ago in the hospital, and the fourth time when he had to put his dog to sleep. I'll never forget that moment, seeing my father in his yard, sitting in the corner, and all I did was walk down. I said, "You okay?" And he just wailed in tears. He thought he made a mistake, that he shouldn't have put his dog down. And it's rough. It's rough. So I apologize, everyone, but maybe some of you out there could take a little bit of this, because look, I know, a lot of other shows, WWE results from Texas, opening match. And we try to always incorporate a little bit of real life in what we do, So maybe this helps some of you out there. So, yeah. Perezabel, nothing against her personally, and she's a great wrestler, but he cannot get behind the Sasha character as a boss. Her booking kills her cred. He sees an arrogant, entitled loser who cries. That's not a boss.
Well, she's also playing a heel character. Yeah. She's not supposed to be a boss because she's legit deserving of that title. She's titled herself that. I'm pretty sure, I don't remember at any point where WWE bestowed the title of boss of WWE upon her. So it's more like it's a clout thing. It's not a clout. It's a braggadocious type of thing that she's doing when she calls herself a boss. So, but no, I kind of agree with him. I understand what he's saying. Her booking kills the cred for me. You don't like the fact that she's whiny, but it's also kind of fitting for who she is as a character. It's this entitlement that she doesn't deserve. And so in order for her to get that entitlement, there's multiple ways to do it. She whines. That's how she gets her entitlement. That's how she keeps her title. So yeah, you're right. I can see why you would flip that off, because in your mind, probably you're thinking if somebody's calling themselves a boss, they're probably calling themselves a badass. Sasha's not a badass, and that's not what she's trying to be.
Honestly, man, I disagree. I mean, look, I agree that not all aspects of a character is boss traits, but when you look like that and you could back it up and you're one of the top talented women on that roster, and the way that she looks, I think you have a right to feel like, you're the boss, you're the head, because honestly, we could look at every character on SmackDown and have something to criticize. Does Bianca Belair constantly talking about bullying? I mean, that's not her fault. That's the way WWE presented it.
Bianca Belair is the EST.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
is she really the EST of everything? This
the establishment? Yeah.
Yeah. No, EST is the greatest, the best, the fastest, the strongest,
Right, but it initially meant the establishment.
Honestly, I know, but you know what? Sasha should use some negative words that end in EST. Like, you think you're the greatest? You think you're the strongest? I think you're the weakest. She's got to look up the negative words and then an EST. There's no question, sluttiest. Bianca. Yeah. You are the EST. No question. You are the weakest. You are the lamest. That's what I would do. Speaking of lame, no, not everything tonight was great. I know it's 1 week late, but we had to guess today.
They replayed it tonight. They replayed that moment.
Well, basically, I know we're going back and forth. It's okay. Eva Marie.
Sure.
She wants Doudrop to get Lilly.
Yes,
funny because Eva Marie told her that like an hour and a half earlier. And they actually go back to the same spot where Eva Marie was drying her nails. She actually stood in that spot for an hour and a half. Go find Lilly. So Doudrop shows up on Alexa's playground, and Doudrop takes Lilly away from Alexa Bliss. And since they can't figure out how to come up with some special effects sci-fi stuff that the fans won't shit on, this week, if you pretend this is Lilly, I have a chicken. So if you pretend this is Lilly, this is basically what Doudrop did.
What are you doing with a chicken?
I have a chicken.
I'm sorry.
Rubber chicken. A rubber chickens. You know, not everything I have is hokey. Check this out. I know I have a little wire connection to it, but for all you podcasters out there, got to get one of these things. It looks like fireworks right now. I don't remember the name of it.
Oh, shit, DT.
I still have Ethan Page's heart somewhere. I'm not kidding. I don't know where his heart is.
I just wasn't expecting a chicken, dude. I don't know.
I got a salami too. Look, I got a salami also. Don't fuck with my salami, man. Oh man. I got hats with weird stains. It looks like somebody ejaculated on my hat. I don't know why. Oh man.
God damn, dude.
Seriously. Look, shout out to Riddle. Evil. He likes Evil Knievel. Yeah, I got a rubber chicken over here. So anyway, that's the awful shit they did tonight. You know, we can't come up with a special effect. So this time, Doudrop just looks at it and freaks out. So an hour and a half later, Doudrop does not deliver the goods.
I thought it was smart. I thought it was really, 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 really fucking smart of WWE not to do that stupid CGI shit.
Oh, yeah.
I liked the idea that they left it up to the viewer's imagination as to what the fuck the doll did to Doudrop. I was so happy that they didn't do another wink, on the screen when she looked at Lilly. This time they just left it alone. Lilly just gave back the doll and walked away. Perfect. And then she shows up in the next scene with Eva, and she's just dry as toast. She's got a 90-yard stare, or whatever the hell they call that. Sorry, 50-yard stare. And she's just off in space. Eva's talking to her. She's not being responsive. It was really well done. They relied on the character imagination as opposed to going hokey. We don't always need train sounds, DT. We don't always need giant letters to point out what's going on. And with this Lilly doll, as you pointed out, the wink is atrocious and was absolutely cringy as hell. So at least, in my opinion, they did the right thing and they didn't show us shit and they left it up to our imagination what happened, and they just kept the steam rolling forward. So,
and then Eva Marie. Psh, 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 psh. Look, do you think that the split between Doudrop and Eva Marie is going to happen Saturday? Because now they have a match Saturday. Eva Marie versus Alexa Bliss. The match we feared a couple of weeks ago is happening. I think Doudrop does. Maybe, you know what? Maybe they'll do something asinine where Doudrop will look at the doll and and then she'll be under the trance, and Doudrop will do something to Eva Marie, and it's like, I told you, it's like from the movie Naked Gun when Reggie Jackson. Remember, I must kill Drubbed. I must kill Frank. I don't know, man.
I can't stand calling her Doudrop, dude. I'm so sick of calling her Doudrop. Can I go back to calling her
drop the Doudrop. Seriously.
Piper or Navin or PN. I'll call her even PN.
Look, people should start a hashtag. Hashtag drop the Doudrop. Just drop the name. Drop the Doudrop.
Doudrop the name.
Yeah. WWE Doudrop the Doudrop. So, yeah, so we got that.
Does she even have a move called the Doudrop?
No. Right?
Isn't that kind of stupid?
Dude, I was thinking about it today. You got this Chucky series coming out. you would think that they would do some goofy thing on Raw with Chucky and Lilly.
Oh, don't give them ideas. I was thinking that too, but I wasn't going to say it on the show. Jesus.
I was just
what do you
starting to
want,
think
Lilly
outside
and
the
Chucky
box.
to get married?
Nero Faye, thoughts with you, brother. Yeah, he had to put his cat down a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, it's not easy, man. It's never easy. And but you know, that's why you take pictures, you take video, you know, you keep those memories. I mean, I have tons of video still of my dog. I can't watch the video yet. But you know, when I walk past his urn, there's a beautiful picture. My favorite phrase that I used to call him is right on the bottom in quotes. And you know, I know this is getting probably way too revealing here, but my bobblehead you see behind me, my favorite dogs, I'll take a picture, show you maybe I'll show you Thursday. His favorite stuffed animal is still on top of the urn. Inside the urn is a couple of painkillers that he had at the time. I put it inside the urn, and I always keep my bobblehead with my face facing the urn. So this way he always feels like he's got company. I have his favorite chain over there as well. You know, it's like a little, and it's cute. It's not like disturbing or anything like, but that's just something that I always felt they needed to do. So Bloodprint 3, Orton versus Cena at WrestleMania, last match. Would it make sense with the right build for these two? Yeah. I think Orton versus Cena will be Randy Orton's last match whenever that happens. As long as Randy Orton is still in WWE and John Cena is still works for, with WWE. I think that is Randy Orton's last match.
Well, I mean, it's two interesting guys, who pretty much have the same kind of lineage on their career. Do you think a last match between the two might be a feud over title holds? Like how many times the title's been held? Because Randy Orton made that mention tonight too, and Cena made that mention a few weeks ago too. So
that's a good point.
It's kind of interesting that they're taking note and they're at least acknowledging how many times they've held the title. So
I mean, they could have amped that up a little bit because Ric Flair is now gone. But look, man, let's just throw this out there.
Yeah, but it wasn't on ill will. It's not like
that's where I'm going with this.
Right.
I want people to understand something. Let's just be honest. Ric Flair does not have much time left. It's just science, age, his medical condition. He wants to enjoy the final years on this earth being Ric Flair. I saw his stuff with Andrade over the weekend. He took no money from AAA. Seeing, the chops, it wasn't embarrassing in any way. But as somebody pointed out and reminded everybody, there was clips not too long ago of Ric Flair taking a suplex into a pool from Andrade. And that made Ric Flair's year. Like, my father is nothing like Ric Flair. But I do know that when your father gets up there in age, I'm sorry, Mish, when father gets up there in age, the smallest little thing that might not mean like all that much to you might mean the world to that person. And when you see Ric Flair doing what he's doing, WWE, they did not part on bad terms. Ric Flair could very well show up on an AEW show. Absolutely. But WWE is fond of Ric Flair. They love this guy. They just feel that, look, Rick, do what's going to make you happy. Enjoy yourself. Please understand, we can't do that on our show because, God forbid, if something happens, we just can't. It's more of a corporate thing than anything else. I saw Ric Flair with the Andrade stuff, and I had no problem with it whatsoever. You know, a lot of people out there that don't watch. The funny thing is, if anybody has not seen that clip yet, you got the horns going on in the background. Those are when I notice people never watched AAA before. Because when you watch wrestling from Mexico and AAA and CMLL and others, those horns are always prevalent. So when you hear that, Ric Flair, he's just enjoying himself. He's not what he used to be. He's not even what he was 5 years ago. But he's having a good time. Good for him. Seriously. I don't want to see him wrestle again. I mean, I remember how embarrassing it looked. Not embarrassing, but how sad it looked. The Hulkamania tour. When they went to Australia, I think, Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan. That was, and think of how many years ago that is. So, Jay Carlos, what's up, my brother? Thank you very much for your generosity as always. And I told you, I got one of these for you. If you want it, you know how to reach me. So I put one aside for you. Got a couple on the way. In our opinion, if CM Punk is debuting on Friday, when do we think Bryan Danielson is debuting for AEW?
Is AEW doing anything in Aberdeen, Washington?
Not that I'm aware of.
Are they doing anything in Washington in general?
I'm not sure about that. I don't think, look, they're not doing any pay-per-view. Obviously, CM Punk being on the all-out pay-per-view, which is only, 3 weeks from now?
Yeah.
That's going to sell crazy buys. AEW, I think everybody agrees that, if you had a choice of Daniel Bryan or CM Punk in your company, if to AEW you can only choose one, I think a majority would choose CM Punk. But Daniel Bryan still could do it. He could still do it. We saw it at WrestleMania. The guy talks awesome now. He backs it up in the ring. I just think Daniel Bryan, is more content of being home with family, just living the life that he lives. I don't think Daniel Bryan is going to have the same level of just anticipation, might be the right word.
Do they live in Arizona now? Actually, I think they live in Arizona now, don't they?
They might live in Arizona.
From Washington. I think he lives in Arizona. They're doing something in Arizona, though, right?
Yeah. I think Daniel Bryan, if he debut, I tell you the truth. I mean, I would love to see them both debut together. Because
that would be too much, though, don't you think?
It
both
would,
of them showing up in Chicago.
But at least, because you know what's going to happen. If Daniel Bryan debuts next week or next month, people are always going to compare the two debuts. We already compare Andrade with Tommy End, Aleister Black.
Right.
And look, Andrade looks like $1 million. Andrade, very, very classy to go along with what is being reported about AAA, which we'll talk about in a few moments. But let's be honest. You look at Andrade in AEW, and I've pointed this out. When he has that match against Packett All Out, he would have been in that company already 3 months, 12 weeks. Yeah. And in 12 weeks, he has had one match against Matt Sydal that lasted 3 or 4 minutes. 3 months, one match. I mean, you know how ridiculous it looks? In my opinion, the last month, it's not 1 week, it's not 2 weeks, it's a month. Oh, you had travel problems. I offer you a limo. I give you food. I give you everything. I give you the babanya. I give you the women, this and that. That's not my Andrade impersonation. And then the next week, Hawk, I offer you women. I want the death triangle. Then a week later, you still have travel problems. And then Chavo now. Andrade offered you this, and this. All right, we get it. This is what? 4 weeks now. It's all smoke and mirrors with Andrade. So I don't really want to see the compare. And honestly, I think Daniel Bryan prefers to be more in a low down. I think Daniel Bryan debuts in New York. I think Daniel Bryan could debut in New York. I really think that.
Yeah.
I think New York, Arthur Ashe Stadium.
You don't think he'll do anything like debut in NJPW, right?
Oh, I
For
could see
AEW
him
or
doing
anything
some.
like that?
Oh, sure. I could definitely see him doing some work in Japan. But I think his first appearance would probably be AEW. You know, I mean, he's got to get some matches in. He's got to get some work in. You know, sure, they could do it behind the scenes, but.
Right.
But Jay Carlos, thank you again, my friend, for your generosity. As always appreciated. You know what? Before we fill in the final blanks for Raw tonight, since we're talking about Andrade, let's just get this out of there right now. Everybody and their mother, including yours truly, and almost every single one of you out there, thought it only makes sense for Kenny Omega to lose the AAA championship to Andrade. You think of Lucha Libre, Andrade fits that much more than Kenny Omega, as far as that promotion goes. Andrade having a title showing up on AEW just makes his aura of net worth and value.
Sure.
The aesthetic, the look of it.
Well, he already appears as a high roller in AEW, so it makes sense. I mean, he's come out with 2 Guerreros now. So there's a lot of weight that they're putting behind him.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah. I
and
agree.
The storyline could have been magical. Kenny Omega, losing streak. It's in his head. He just lost the Impact Championship to Christian. He just lost the AAA title to Andrade. And now Christian is going into All Out. And maybe the nosedive continues. And then CM Punk shows up. And Kenny Omega's world is upside down. You know, I had a conversation on Thursday about somebody called in. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the name right now. But somebody called in and said, this is not the Kenny Omega I saw in New Japan. And I said, no, this is sports entertainer Kenny Omega. He is a heel. Him and the Young Bucks are playing sports entertainers right now, but Kenny Omega especially, look at his matches. Look at it closely. Kenny Omega is being in 2021, more times than not, especially for the last bunch of months, he is a sports entertainer. And people hate to admit that, but I personally think it's a wonderful idea because of the amount of work he does behind the scenes for AEW. But now the reports are coming out that Andrade was supposed to win the AAA title over the weekend. And AEW told AAA, can you do us a solid and let Kenny Omega retain because we have this big pay-per-view coming up and we don't want to give this aura. And that's the report going around. I don't know if it's true. I'm just throwing it out there for all of you to think about that. I just personally think, in my opinion, that if that report is true, I think AEW made a rookie mistake because their thinking is we can't have Kenny Omega losing all these belts going into All Out because it's going to diminish his value. No. It's the opposite. I think AEW made a rookie mistake by having that mentality. And if that report is true, props to Andrade being a consummate professional and working the match. They could always have a rematch. But the funny thing is, AAA now has no idea who to have Kenny Omega face next. AAA's got to worry about their own backyard. Stop, listening to others simply because, that's right business. The forbidden door that everybody says is open, that's not really open. Just a bunch of companies out there agreeing to scratch each other's back because we're in COVID, recovering from a year and a half of mega losses, and we're just sharing talent so we could all make some money. 6 months from now, let's see how much that door is still open. I mean, honestly, not trying to brag. Everything that we've told you is pretty much happened. Everything. Shout out to BC Reviews. BC Reviews. Good to watch the show again. His son was so stoked that AEW on TNT reposted his Instagram post about the Young Bucks wearing some type of Travis Scott shoes this weekend. That's pretty cool, man. That's awesome. Nothing wrong with getting a little bit of acknowledgement. I mean, that's a good thing, you know, especially your son. I mean, that's good. Gets, you know, especially young. Look, man, I know, you know, some people get triggered when I bring them the ThunderDome stuff. I don't want to see ThunderDome back. But, you know, it brought the little kid out of me, you know, to see little things that they actually did for yours truly. You know, it's cool. It's cool. People out there should never feel like they're doing something wrong simply because they're, enjoying or they get retweeted or something like that. I mean, it's just, you know, there are people out there that will just write anything just to be, you know, have attention brought on them. But we're talking about your son.
Right.
It's a big difference. So very, very cool. Very cool, my friend. You. Very good to hear. So let's, just so everybody knows, just show you how old I feel. Oh, yes, there is one other super chat we got to bring up. It is kind of important. Today is the 44th anniversary of Elvis Presley dying. Just to show you all how old I actually am. And I know I bring this up every year for the last couple of years, but 44 years ago today, Elvis Presley died around 3:30 in the afternoon. This picture was snapped by my mom around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 44 years ago today. We were in Seaside Heights, New Jersey. I think it was the first time that we had ever gone away. My father tried to drive us to Hershey Park once in Pennsylvania and got hit in a massive rainstorm. He turned around and we went home. This was the first time we ever
blonde hair, huh?
Yeah. It's the first time we ever went away.
Yeah.
And that is me posing on the outside the hotel room. And then 30 minutes later, we got the news that Elvis Presley died. So that picture
that was outside
me.
Elvis's hotel?
No. We were in We were in Seaside Heights, New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But so 44 years ago today, that picture was taken. So yeah, I know I was cute. What the hell happened? I know. By the way, I should have done this at the beginning of the show. I want to give a special shout out to Lee Sanders, RCWR show.
Yeah, much love.
Yeah, we were originally gonna get together for Washington, D.C. to be part of a panel. Problem is that, my mom's birthday is next week. Mish has some personal things to attend to. So, Lee at the last minute is going to be doing the panel, but he's doing it with his significant other. And it's going to be a big deal over there. So, we wanted to just give him a special shout out because, he really worked his ass off to get the gig for us. And, unfortunately, it just didn't work out for us to be there. But he will still be there for all of you that are going to, what was that convention? Adventure Con or something?
Awesome Con.
Awesome Con, yes.
21 in Washington, D.C. So, I was genuinely looking really forward to it. I really was. I wanted to have some fun. But personal matters.
I just realized the way I put the picture, it looks like his head is on my bobblehead. It just looked like that. The hands are a little light. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, look. Anyway, us three are going to be doing a episode in the very near future. Very near future. Us three are going to get together and have a fun episode, and that'll be coming up very, very soon. So,
absolutely.
Shout out to Lee. Lee's very good people.
Thank you.
He's not here tonight though, but shout out to him. Oh shit. I totally forgot about the contest. I am so sorry, everybody. Let's do it now. And then we're at an hour and 15 minutes. We're going to go about 15 more minutes, 20 minutes tops. You know, we really, like I said, our goal is to hit 90 minutes instead of 2.5 hours. But don't forget, you're part of our Patreon. We'll be on Patreon tomorrow. I'll be back here Wednesday. Thursday's Q&A. Friday is Rampage Watch Along, and then Don Tony Show. Saturday is SummerSlam. We may even do something with SummerSlam. So we will give everybody some info later this week. So here's how we're going to do this, plain and simple. Remember, we have 2 winners tonight. And I think what we'll do is the first person that we select, you have your choice that you could either select the Wyatt family, Wyatt Gym. Everything you see in this picture, it is sealed in the box. The size of the shirt is extra large. You could have your choice of either the Wyatt Gym or the Bray Wyatt FOCO that just came out. And you get to select which one you want. And then we'll choose the second person. And then you'll win the leftovers. I guess that's how we'll do it. I hate to say it like that, but, you know.
Right.
I think 5 minutes is fair. 10 minutes to claim your prize. You know, because Thursday we had to run it like 3 or 4 times before we picked the winner. So now, luckily, I don't have the chat room on the screen, but I have the capability of popping stuff up literally like this. I'm just putting a random thing up here right now. So if the person shows up in the chat room and claims the prize, I will put it on the screen right now. See, like this. See? Just I can put it right on the screen. So anyway, what I will put on the screen is this. Give me 1 second. Okay. Let's pull this up. Okay, here we go. That is last week's show. And all you had to do to be in both of these contests is post a comment on last week's show. So all I'm going to do, you see my mouse over here, I'm going to click this box, and there is a contest called Pick a Winner. So now it's going to randomly pick a comment from this list. And JP Sweeney, if you are live, all you got to do right now is show up and just say, I am here. I'm claiming my prize. You got 5 or 10 minutes. So I have the chat room open. And if he shows up, then he could choose either the Wyatt Gym or the Bray Wyatt FOCO. If he does not claim it in 10 minutes, then we will choose someone else and they will be able to pick. So anyway, let's get into some more. And I'm monitoring the chat as we're having some discussion right now, everybody.
Sure.
Sure. We still got to talk about this. Man, he looks so fucking frail. He lives still in the gym. We'll talk about him in a few minutes. And I didn't forget about a gentleman who wanted me to... Oh, sorry, that was a tease for something else. Wanted me to bring up this. We'll get into that in a couple of moments. Just to finish up Raw tonight, opening match, AJ Styles over Riddle. You know, we had Randy Orton come out first, you know, cutting his promo. They're furthering teasing that Randy Orton does not want to team up with Riddle. AJ Styles and Omos giving a bad mouth to both these guys. And then it ends up, because we knew that Orton was going to take on Omos tonight. We didn't know that AJ was going to take on Riddle. Is it just me, Mish? Or is the storyline that without Randy Orton, Riddle is a mess? Because Riddle has lost an awful lot of singles matches in the last month or two.
I don't know if it's that he's a mess, because he's clearly capable. He's a capable wrestler. But I think when you add the weight of him wanting Randy Orton to be in his corner, and Randy Orton is not in his corner, he becomes disheartened. They made it they made Riddle very likable with the way that he responds to Randy Orton, and even with the way that he responded to the fans when Orton finally accepted RK-Bro tonight. And he openly said, Randy, you make me very, very happy. And people loved that. And they thought it was cute, and they thought it was genuine. So I don't necessarily think it's like Matt Riddle's career sucks without Randy Orton. I think it's more along the lines of he is inspired when Randy Orton is near him. Now, if RKBro officially retires and goes their own separate way down the road, I think Matt Riddle will be just fine. Matt Riddle is still a competent wrestler. He's decent in the ring. There's more than enough there to work with. I think that the whole thing is that he looks at Randy Orton as his mentor.
Right.
You know, as his Sifu, as the weebs in the chat, I'm sure know. So, yeah.
I thought the match, look, AJ Styles and Riddle have some great chemistry. We've seen them fight several times, but in the end, AJ Styles gets another win, and it just the way it's perceived to me is that right now, without Randy Orton as his RK-Bro, like Riddle is just distracted, a little hurt, and he keeps, adding up in the loss department. Obviously, we know what transpired after. We talked about that. But we have AJ Styles being Riddle to open up the show. Randy Orton refused to be in Riddle's corner early on. So more coming with that in a little bit. Rhea Ripley over Nikki A.S.H. Charlotte on commentary. And like you said earlier, Charlotte was hitting every note. She was hitting all the right notes tonight. Saying a lot of things.
You know what's kind of funny? Actually, the girlie was watching it with me. So when Charlotte got chucked out of the ring the second time by Nikki A.S.H., she landed hard on, it almost looked like she landed on her kidney. And it was really hard. And I'm like, wow, she kind of took that bump badly because she hit the outside of the apron, but it didn't hit her butt. It hit her right by her kidney. And I'm like, oh, she looked like she took that hard. And the girlie turns around and says, no, she did that on purpose. And I'm like, why would she do that?
Ankles.
Because of the shoes she's wearing. Because she was impressed that Charlotte could run around in those heels in the ring and then fly out of the ring and still land on the heels and not snap her ankles. And I'm like, see, and that's a female's perspective that as a guy, I would have no clue that would have been a thing that women think about when they're running around in shoes. But she brought it up, and I was like, oh, you're probably right. So who needs a kidney when you don't snap your ankle?
See, I look at it like this. Why would you risk possibly injuring your ankles, getting tossed out of a ring 5 days before SummerSlam?
Yeah.
Like, why not wear shoes that you could quickly just fly off? She could have wore heels, but those heels, they don't come off, unless you unstrap them. I just think, look, it's impressive, no question. Yeah. But it just feels like she could have injured herself. And I don't know if that's...
And that was her whole point. That was the whole point, was she chose not to land on her feet hard, so she just took it in the back. Right. Yeah.
And she went through the middle rope, not the top.
Yeah.
So, J.B. Sweeney, second... I don't want to say strike two. That sounds too negative, but second shout out. If you don't claim it within the next 2 minutes, we're going to have to pick someone else, and my sincere apologies. Just a lot of people entered, and it would be totally unfair, if, we didn't pick someone else. So, second shout out. Drew McIntyre beating Veer and Shanky. Did I say beer? Oh, my God. Veer and Shanky. I don't know, man. I like Veer and
Tony.
I like Veer and Shanky, but I'm starting to get the same vibes like I do with T-Bar and Mace. I freaking love T-Bar and Mace, but it just feels like they're in creative purgatory right now. Like, where do they go from here?
Well, at least you're doing better than the Viking Raiders.
Yeah, look at the Viking Raiders. Where are they?
Exactly.
Where are they?
So, I mean, people can sit there and say, oh, I'm not a big fan of T-Bar and Mace. Well, at least they're not the Viking Raiders. So, yeah.
Exactly. Look, Drew McIntyre, keeping the comedy in his promos. I think Shanky right now, he thinks he's Drew McIntyre, and he's got the sword. And by the way, Drew with his promos, the sword. Does it sound like he's like insinuating like dick jokes with the sword now?
Yeah.
It does feel like that. Like, trying to be a little bit hip with the the double meanings. I don't know. But look, there's so many great matches at SummerSlam. I could tolerate Jinder versus Drew. And as you and I said before, they are such close friends that we think back to Sheamus versus Drew early in the year and how awesome that was. Sometimes when you work one of your closer friends, for some reason, it just is better.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
And this is still on the same topic because we're talking about Shanky. Shanky's like what? 7 feet tall? And Commander Aziz is like 7'1", 7'2", and Omos is, I don't even know. What is Omos? 7'3"?
Got to be 6'11", 7 foot.
No, he's over 7 feet. At least, okay, sorry. According to WWE announcers, he also is over 7 feet tall. So you have 3 different guys that are over 7 feet tall in WWE right now. Is it just me, or does Shanky feel like the odd man out? Like, even if this guy is 7 feet tall, whether he is or not, I don't know. But even if he is, he doesn't move or look like a guy who's a big, towering giant of a man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't let his arsenal reflect someone who's 7 feet tall.
Right.
He fights the same way you would if you were 6'5". They could talk about him being 7 feet tall, but they don't treat him like somebody who's 7 feet tall.
Yeah, almost is 7'3" from college. So
wow,
there you go. Yeah,
wow, tall boy.
That's what I'm saying. Is like of all the 3 guys, because I like Commander Aziz too.
Yes,
I think he also moves and he looks. Maybe it's because of his clothes or whatever, but he also looks like a big motherfucker. You know what I mean? He moves like a big motherfucker. And then I look at Shanky and it's like, why aren't you bigger? Why don't you feel bigger? Why do you feel like a henchman, like a tiny little henchman? You know?
Yeah. PMCG, which might be Pat McGrath for short. I'm not sure. But, yeah, no, we can do a Zelina Vega contest in the near future. If a lot of people are up for that, I don't mind.
What's
all right,
the Zelina
JP
Vega
Sweeney.
contest?
I'm sorry, JP, but we're going to have to go back and pick a new winner. Yeah, we tried. All right, so here we go again. We're back on this page. And, I'm going to we go to pick a winner if you want to do this as a test. But Russell Segui, if you are live right now, you just got to show up in the chat room and say, I am here to collect my prize.
Russell Segui, please report to the yellow room.
Yes. I gotta fix up my special effects. Oh yeah, that's my other program. See, everybody chatting in the chat room. Actually, I could keep the chat room up like this too, but all right, let me take this out of there. So let's see if Russell is here to claim his prize. If not, we're probably gonna have to go 5 minutes with Russell, not 10, because it's starting to get a little bit late over here.
Or maybe these people are smart. And instead of claiming the prize, what they really want is for the show to keep on going, TT.
Yeah.
Because I guess the show kind of has to keep going until somebody wins a prize, right?
Yeah, but, I seriously, I gotta, especially that she works remote right now, I gotta take her home tomorrow morning because she starts at 9, which means that, I have to leave even earlier than usual. So, Damian Priest over the Miz. We talked about Moist TV earlier, teasing the split.
Wanted.
You and I had the conversation last week that these guys are still interacting with each other well before WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, does it feel like tonight was the final chapter with Damian Priest versus Miz and Morrison for now?
There's gonna be a little bit between Priest and Miz. But I think it might be a one-on-one, and Morrison just leaves him hang out to dry. But I don't think, more wet puns, by the way. But I don't think that Jomo and Miz are splitting up over this at all. I think that he just leaves Damian Priest to beat the shit out of Miz a little bit, and he enjoys that for a moment. Dude, the puns alone keep Morrison and Miz together. Those guys can play off each other so well. And a lot of it is hokey and cheesy, and it's all good fucking fun. I really enjoy listening to all their stupid wet jokes. It's funny to me because it's, I don't know. I mean, it's not like this is like Bill Hicks level of humor or nothing, but it's just simple poop humor. And it's funny, and they know what they're doing, and they're comfortable doing it. And even if nobody's laughing, they're laughing at each other. And I don't know, it just really, those two guys come off really natural together. And so does Damian Priest. To be fair to Damian Priest, he slides right in there as a good foil because he can talk the same kind of trash in the same way that those two guys do. So once again, I know everybody's like, oh, all the feuds are lacking in WWE. I don't know, man. Some of the stuff that's going on right now, even on Raw, even on SmackDown, is actually kind of fun. If you don't take some of it too seriously. Some of it should be serious, and some of it shouldn't be taken seriously. If you're looking at Damian, Priest, Miz, and Morrison, and you're trying to really sink your teeth into some serious Snyder cut angle type of gimmick match or whatever feud, you're looking in the wrong place. This is not the feud for you, you know. So
thinking of that title, now I'm thinking to myself, I think Damian Priest could very well win that belt. I mean, I'm not doing predictions till Friday, but as of right now,
yes,
I think he has a shot of beating Sheamus.
Yeah, with old jockstrap nose.
Yeah, I mean, they're keeping him. Look, they got to keep the mask for a little while because it just healed. But, you know, it might be good to just take the belt off of him for a little while.
Just Incredible doesn't sue for him ripping off the gimmick because he looks like Aldo Montoya.
Aldo Montoya, sure. Well, this color is much better than the Aldo one. The Aldo one was horrible.
Yeah, it doesn't have the piss stain yellow to it, but, you know. So.
All right, we're going to have to pick another winner. Obviously, look, let's be honest.
5 more minutes, guys.
Yeah, in the chat room, I mean, it literally takes a few seconds to type.
Sure.
So you hear your name mentioned, there's no reason why it shouldn't take you a minute or two to go into the chat. So I'm back here once again. See, when I was joking earlier about, you know, like doing a test run, you know, we have a good friend of the show. His name is Hayes, and he won 2 weeks in a row. And most people were pretty cool about it, but they're like, you should do something where you can only win like one prize a month or something like that. So whenever I pick a winner, I get a little bit nervous that, you know, it might end up being Hayes. You know, I probably would hook him up anyway. Yeah. But Nate, if you are in the chat, Nate. And trust me, we can, you know, I know there might be more than one Nate, but you don't have that avatar. So we know which Nate it is.
You are, Nate.
Yes. Nate Hatred. There's a name nobody talks about.
Nate Hatred.
Remember Nate Hatred?
From the chat room.
No, I know.
Oh, yes.
But Nate Hatred's a name from the past that nobody ever talks about anymore. With good reason, I guess.
Well, I mean, yeah, I was going to say.
Yep. So, Nate, if you're around, here's your chance, Nate. So, Damian Priest gets the win.
Yes.
Tony, I assure you, they're not bots. 2 of the 3 especially. Very, very long-time supporters. Yeah. It's probably my mistake.
Never named a bot Nate before. You never named him a bot Nate. You name a bot like Robot, right?
Oh, my God. The level of bots in Twitter right now. Oh, my God. Yeah. It's incredible. You know, like you could tell when they're just trying to pull strings, especially with this political stuff. Holy shit.
Oh.
Mansoor over Mace.
Yes.
I think we kind of saw that coming when we brought up that picture last week when Ali's like, just watch what I do. And then you knew that Ali was going to lose last week. So now Mansoor gets the opportunity against Mace. And again, you look at it closely, the finish, Mace goes in the corner, and Mace actually takes like 2 or 3 steps back.
Yeah.
And then Mansoor tries to go for the pin, and then, all right, now he's got to take a couple of steps forward, and it looked like a mess. I mean, I am digging Mansoor and Ali as a team. But that match tonight was just a mess, in my opinion. And I wouldn't be
You think that
surprised.
was intentional?
No. I mean, look, he was trying to like hold the rope for leverage, and then Ali drop kicked him to push him, force him backwards with momentum.
Right.
But, just the way it was positioned, like if you watch closely, he's in the corner and then he takes a couple of steps back for absolutely no reason whatsoever. I guess he probably thought he was out of position, but then he takes a couple of steps forward. People watch it, you'll see what I'm talking about. So, Nate, where are you, Nate? I think we're going to have to give up on Nate. I mean, come on. It shouldn't take that long. Nate, last chance.
Jesus, Nate, free stuff, dude. Free
This
stuff.
is my fault. Like I said, I
That's
should have did
okay.
it right at the stroke of midnight. We started
The
talking.
next one, dude, I have the feeling the next one is definitely going to pick it up.
Yeah. All right. We gave it a shot. Let's go back. Let's go back. All right. So we're right back here. Sorry, Nate. Pick another winner. Viper, 1829. Oh, this might not be good. Last week was the first time he tuned into one of my shows in years, and he kind of stopped watching wrestling too. That might not be good.
5 minutes. Got 5 minutes.
I don't know how much he enjoyed the show last week. If he's back again, what a nice way to come back. Viper 1829.
Yeah, welcome back to the show. Hope you're here.
What a nice way to welcome him back. Possibly a $200 item.
Oh yeah.
No, we'll just keep picking winners. So we'll give him like 2-3 minutes. Like I said, it really shouldn't take all that long. If you're tuning in live, even if you're not by your chat, it should only take a couple of seconds. All right. Randy Orton versus Omos.
Yes.
That finish was awful. Disqualification. You knew Omos, and Randy Orton talking to him.
I kind of liked the idea that they had a referee that wasn't a complete fucking dipshit. Seriously.
Yeah.
A referee that wasn't a dipshit and saw AJ's horrible antics on the outside. And I'm like, wow, when was the last time that you saw a ref doing a good job? Like, I know, people are like, oh, but that kind of ruined the match. And then, no, it didn't. It was nice to see a referee that wasn't 100% incompetent and relying on all the wrestling tropes. It really surprised me that it went to a DQ. Didn't expect that result at all. I mean, at least not that way. Maybe a DQ if they all jumped in the ring or something. But for the outside, for kicking him on the outside, I was like, wow. All right. I'm down with that.
Everybody is in the chat is telling me to give this to Joe Punches or this cheer him up because of the conversation we had earlier. Yeah,
That's
I got
a good idea.
4 of these on the way. So it's not for the contest tonight, but Joe, you know how to reach me. If you want the Bray Wyatt FOCO gift from Mish and myself. So we squared that away. All right. Viper is not around. Sorry, Viper.
He's not giving up his chicken.
Yeah, it was going to be the first time in years he tuned in. All right, so now we got to pick another winner.
Shit. No. Viper.
Oh, J.R. Bloom. He. It's funny because he looks like my fiance's father, and I got to put a picture of them side by side. It's freaky how much they look like each other.
Really?
J.R. Bloom is he's been around for a little while, but he is a big supporter of the show. J.R. Bloom. I don't know if he ever goes in the chat, but J.R. Bloom, if he's around, you just got to go in the chat and just say, I am fucking here.
Sorry.
He's
I'm enjoying my echo tonight.
Yeah, so let's see if he's around. I feel bad, but rules are rules, man. Rules are rules.
Right.
J.R. Bloom.
That's right.
So we'll give him like a minute or two. So
I enjoy it, though. Randy Orton did a good job.
Yeah.
Obviously we got that little heartfelt speech in the middle of the ring. Randy Orton didn't stick to just giving Riddle a handshake. He went for the full hug, and then Matt's eyes bugged out of his head. It was a fun little moment. It was a positive little moment. And the crowd's reaction is exactly what WWE needs right now. You can even see it in that pic. Even though it's a little bit blurry, everybody looked like they were on their feet. Everybody looked like they were on their feet tonight. So that was a nice moment, and I think people are really going to get behind the RKBro train.
See, I just in the Randy Orton character, I would not have. If I was Randy Orton, I would not have been the one to hug. Like, I would have rather seen Riddle hug Randy Orton and Randy Orton. You know, obviously I'm patting my chest, but Randy Orton would be on his back, just going like.
Yeah, but see, here's the whole thing: is Randy Orton isn't completely heartless, and I know that that's the character that he's built. But at the same time, he made it very clear, even tonight, when he was giving all those props back to Matt, he was making him understand that I don't act this way because I don't understand you and I don't respect you. I act this way because I protect myself as number one. But you keep meddling, you keep pushing, you protect my ass, you covered my ass, you had my back. Now you genuinely have my real respect. So it made sense for Randy to make the first move. You know, I mean, there was a little bit of hand holding, a little bit of rubbing of the wrists, you know, but it made sense because Riddle has put himself out there week after week after week to almost no response from Randy Orton or nothing very final with Randy Orton. And now it was almost like he's done so much. And it was funny because even when he started that speech, you know, he kind of said, but I don't respect you. And Matt Riddle's like, like for like a half a second, it's like, oh, we're going down this shit again. And Matt Riddle's face, his reaction was perfect to that. So it was a lot of fun watching that. But yeah, no, it made sense. It made sense. And I think a lot of people fucking are.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Much love, Joe. No problem. Yeah. All right. I know we keep going back, but hey, you posted a comment last week. You are eligible. So I guess everybody who's tuning in right now is sticking around in case, you know, they win.
That's
Red
right.
Scout, TTV, Red Scout. Is Red Scout around? See, I could leave it like this, but yeah, see, we had 2,347 playbacks, but that doesn't necessarily mean they all happen at the same time. So a little behind the scenes of how it looks for us.
Now, do people come to you like the next day and go,
yeah, two people did. Two people did. Nero Fay, I felt bad for him. I mean, I joked about a month ago. I was like, I don't have to ship it to Israel. But he fell asleep during the show. And his name was picked, and he fell asleep. By the time he woke up, the show was over. I had already given it to something else.
Oh, shoot.
Like I said, it's just, you know, I will usually do something on the side here and there.
Right.
But, you know, there's so many people enter. It's only fair, you know, to everybody who enters. I mean, if I just say, oh, let's just give it to this person instead.
That's right.
Oh, man. I mean, if I enter a contest fair and square and you're not just giving it to someone random because you feel like it, it's not pretty cool.
Hundreds of people enter DT, but only one can win.
Yes. And it looks like this gentleman is not one of them. So, unfortunately, Red Scout, you know, it's almost like I'm going to keep picking winners. And the first person of the list that shows up gets the prize. Team New York City Network, Team NYC. Let's see if Team NYC is around.
Oh, man.
So much for ending the show early tonight. No, we can't close it until we get a winner, obviously.
That's right. We got to keep going.
Yes. Remember, we got to pick two winners. Got to pick two winners.
Yeah.
Well, we'll give him a minute. I think from now on, we got to give somebody a minute or two. I mean, literally.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I mean, and look, for those that are, you know, if you tune in normally on Twitter or Twitch or Facebook, stop by to YouTube a week before, post a comment, and then if you happen to be on one of the other platforms live and you hear your name called, then you just go on YouTube really quick and just say, I'm here. You know, you do it that way. So pretty interesting that we pick random winners. And, you know, obviously not everybody tunes in live. That's the problem. A lot of people tune in afterwards. So this is almost like a little, like, when I do these contests live, it's a little gift, you know, for somebody who hangs out live.
It's a nice gesture for the people that, you know, listen to the show. that interact with the chat, interact with the actual community. It's very nice. It's very nice of you.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, it looks like he is not around. So let's go back. Let's randomly pick someone else. Benjamin, oh no. Oh no,
What?
Benjamin.
What?
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
No.
Why not Benjamin?
Nah, Benjamin's good people. Just kidding around with him. Benjamin, I know, is here. Benjamin has to be here. Benjamin is definitely here. Benjamin is always here. How is he not here?
Benjamin.
The guy is always. No, he's here. There he is. All right, let me pull him up.
Here?
Let's make it official.
Okay.
He is here. There he is.
There we
Benjamin is here. All right, Benjamin. The big question. Do you want the Bray Wyatt gym or do you want the Bray Wyatt FOCO? You get the choice. You get the choice. So everyone who is in the chat, let's not chat. Don't type anything for a few seconds.
No.
Let's get his choice so I could put it up on the screen.
That's right.
And then we will pick the second winner, which I think will go 1, 2, 3. Benjamin. Okay, Benjamin says he goes with the gym. All right, here there's the official. I'll go with the gym. So Benjamin is the winner of the Bray Wyatt gym. Benjamin, I actually do have a size medium. So I don't know if extra large is no good for you. If you want size medium instead, I could hook you up with size medium. I'm pretty sure I have a size medium. Sealed in the box. Same exact price.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
Congrats to you, my friend. Congrats.
Yeah, congrats, Ben.
All right. Now we go pick someone else for the FOCO. This is for the FOCO.
Oh, we're doing another one?
Tyler Kusi.
Oh.
Tyler Kusi.
This
Not
is
Coochie.
awesome.
Not Coochie, but
Yeah,
Kusi.
not the Coochie.
Not the Coochie. Coochie Mama. So is Tyler around? All right. Karrion Kross over Jeff Hardy. You know, when Jeff Hardy said to Karrion Kross, your 15 minutes of fame on Raw is almost up, I think he's onto something.
Yeah.
I think this was all advertisement to get people to tune into NXT. And NXT's numbers have gone up the last 2 weeks.
You think that was the purpose? I didn't.
Oh,
get that
yeah. It's an advertisement. That's why the dark matches feature NXT stars. That's why you had Odyssey Jones on 205 Live. That's why you have Karrion Kross. You want to showcase your NXT champion to give people a reason to tune into Tuesdays. Their rating went up nice last week, and nobody talked about it.
I honestly don't feel like Kross is up on Raw in order to promote NXT. Like, I'll have to disagree with you on that one because it doesn't seem like the announcers are doing a really good job.
They're trying to make him a household name.
No. I understand that, but I think that that's more for the discretion of Kross's career and his eventual career that's going to be involved with the main roster. But I don't see the announcers really pushing NXT during Kross's appearances. Like, if they're trying to promote NXT through the use of Kross, they're not really pushing the NXT narrative. At least not what I've heard. So,
Wogaman says the combined ages of Goldberg and Bobby Lashley is 98. Why does that? That's not true. That can't be true. Even if Goldberg was...
Well, how much is it when you add an MVP and his son? And Goldberg.
Oh, okay, that's different. Yeah. No, because if Goldberg is... Well, you know what? He might be right. If Goldberg... How old is Goldberg?
What is he, like?
Goldberg's got to be, what, 50? 55?
Yeah.
He's got to be 55, around there.
How old?
He's 54.
How old is Goldberg? Oh.
So that... Wait.
54. He's 54 years
So Bobby
young.
Lashley is 44? Okay, I believe that actually does make sense. 54, 55, around there. All right, I could see that.
And
I
his
can see
son
that.
is 15 years old.
Okay. Yeah, wow. Very good observation.
MVP is 47 years old. So there you go.
Okay. All right, Tyler's not around.
No coochie?
Oh, Nick.
Oh.
The artist.
Is
The
Nick
artist
here?
known as Nick. Nick
here?
Winstead Art. Is Nick live? Nick goes back with us like 2 decades. So Nick, if you're around, Nick, the FOCO is yours. Is your opportunity. By the way, Friday, I said I thought Rampage was going to get around 750,000 viewers. It did 740. So not a bad rating. Not a bad rating. What'd you think of Rampage? For
right.
1 hour show.
Fun. I saw a little bit of it. I haven't watched the whole hour. To not to be gross, but my sling got cut off. So it was I changed my subscription, and I used to have 100 hours on DVR, and now I have 40, and it got cut off.
Oh, okay. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I think the watch
Too much
along
wrestling in a week for my DVR.
I agree. It is a lot of wrestling in a week, but the fact that we did a watch along and it was just nonstop conversing, even if we had different topics.
Right. Right.
By the way, I'm not going to touch on the Fuego stuff with the contract. The only thing I'll say is this. If anybody looked very closely at the contract, it has Fuego del Sol's name on it. I'm pretty certain his birth name is not Fuego del Sol. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty certain that Fuego del Sol is not his natural birth name. So when you see a wrestling contract and it's got the wrestling character's name on it, that usually should give you a telltale sign of what they're signing is not real. I was very surprised that almost nobody took note of that. So anyway, Nick is not around, unfortunately. So like I said, we got to start finishing this up. So we'll get somebody. We'll get somebody. Big Baller. I think last week, he was the one that we picked last week. Yeah. And he was not around. So Big Baller, here's your holy shit. So he gets a second chance. He gets a second chance. Big Baller.
Baller JU.
Let's see if Big Baller is around. I'm pulling the chat back up just in case he's here. So Karrion Kross beating Jeff Hardy. Very strong but quick match. Right. Nikki A.S.H and Rhea Ripley teaming up to take on Charlotte and a mystery partner, which turned out to be Nia Jax. And it really punched me in the face thinking about it today. Why the hell did Nia Jax not use the stink face years earlier?
Because
being related to Rikishi.
Of the ring and she hurt her hole. You don't remember that?
Yeah, but all the years before it.
My hole.
I like Nia Jax. I'm sorry. I am one of the few. I know that she can be a little bit careless in the ring. It seems that way. But I think she's actually tightened up her act a little bit. So, that match was okay, but it was very quick. And I'm confused because we had Nikki A.S.H lose twice. We had Rhea Ripley get pinned by Charlotte. I mean, this is like the same mentality as Karrion Kross getting pinned by Jeff Hardy to make it seem like anybody at any time can be pinned. Now, right now, my feeling is Rhea Ripley wins that title back. I don't think Nikki A.S.H keeps that belt. We also got to remember Becky Lynch is pretty much a lock to be at SummerSlam. They ain't passing up the opportunity of having a return in front of 70,000 fans and Becky Lynch is not there. There is no way they're going to do that. But, I don't even know why this tag team match was necessary tonight. It really just felt like filler more than anything else.
Yeah, it was just a little bit of filler to give people more interaction for tonight. That's all.
Yep.
I think you're right. They didn't have to have this match. They could have had some more bro moments with Riddle and Randy.
Sure. There's some other people. My God, if you really you brought Viking Raiders, but you think of Liv Morgan, and you think of some Tony Storm and others, like, I mean, I understand that they're not involved in SummerSlam right now, and that's why they're not on TV. That's the reason for people that, you know, are thinking too much of it. I think once SummerSlam goes by, you'll see some of these names back. So, but anyway, Big Baller unfortunately is not here. Oh, we can't have Benjamin win twice.
Oh,
so.
Benjamin.
Yeah, jeez. Kevin Oshiro. If Kevin is around, especially since he gave us such kind words.
Mish the Great. Oh, I
Mish
hope
the
you win
Great.
out, Kevin. Dear Lord.
Mish the Great.
The Great.
So let's see if Kevin is around. Not that Kevin.
What?
No. Not that Kevin. I'm not talking about co-host. No, there's another Kevin.
Oh.
We had some issues a couple of weeks ago with a Kevin. So we'll give him a minute. You know what? Should we just give it to Benjamin? For real. I'm not trying to be a jerk right now, everyone, but his name was picked, but it's not fair. Everybody's still tuning in tonight. So, you know what? I'm going to keep picking a name until somebody pops up in the chat. So, like I said, from now on, I'm going to make it a must that at midnight, I want all of you who hang out live, when midnight strikes, even if we're in the middle of a conversation, everybody just write contest in the chat room. Contest. This way, it reminds me, because I know we did it like 20 minutes late tonight. And we're actually finishing the show 20 minutes late.
But it's 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's past midnight.
Yeah. No, well, now it is.
You mean
but
in the future? Oh. Okay.
Yeah, in the future, going forward, when it hits right around midnight, just write contest. Flood the chat room with the word contest. Okay. This way I know, you know, to run it. So, you know what? If his name comes up again, then so be it. Team NYC, we already shouted him out. Gods of War. And Gods of War, thank you for the very kind words earlier today, too. Yeah. Gods of War gets it, you know, when we talk about some of the comments we do. I just don't know if Gods of War is with us tonight or if he's sleeping. So,
I mean, it is 1 o'clock in the morning.
I mean, I really want to get a winner tonight. So, too bad somebody who got picked earlier didn't show up later on. I could have still given him the prize. So, anyway, Goldberg, Bobby Lashley segment.
Yeah.
You know, we opened up with it. I mean, again, this is not Goldberg deciding, hey, let me talk about my son again. I think this is WWE thinking it's safe. Name drops Texas. They live in Texas. Shouts out his son. No one is going to be an ultimate asshole and boot his son. So I think this was the safe way for them to go. And I still, like you said 2 weeks ago, you said that you think Sage is going to get a shot in on MVP, and I think that is happening.
Yeah. It still makes sense, you know, like regardless of who wins, Bobby Lashley, you know, he's going to get his shot in on MVP. That's going to be the feel-good moment. MVP tries to do something shitty to his dad, and then he responds and takes out MVP, you know. And Bobby Lashley still ends up winning the match, but it wasn't because MVP, you know, tipped the balance. So,
Harris B.
All right.
Thank you for your service,
Only
my friend.
here for the contest. That's awesome.
Harris B, my friend, if you are here.
Where are you, Harris?
Thank you for your service, as always, my brother. If you are here, the FOCO is yours if you want it.
He's a military guy?
Yeah, I believe so.
Harris B? Oh.
Yeah, Harris
okay.
is.
Right.
Yeah. How would you feel if Gage, I keep thinking sage, which is a spice. How would you feel if Gage
I like
speared?
sage better.
I know, me too, but how would you feel if Gage spears MVP?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Double spear?
Well, it makes sense because, I mean, if his daddy's training him, what do you expect him to do? The jackhammer? You expecting Sage to go out there and jackhammer MVP?
Oh.
So I would assume that a spear probably makes the most sense.
There we go. Contests are over. Harris B is here.
Hells yeah.
Harris, my brother. Very
Thank
cool,
you,
Harris. Very cool. Yeah, I think
Right.
we'll go back to trivia contests in a week or so we can finish them a little bit quicker. So very, very cool. Very, very
We
cool.
got one more prize to give out?
No, that's it.
Oh,
2 and
okay.
done. So Benjamin gets the gym and Harris gets the FOCO. And we're going to finish tonight with 2 very quick things. I saved this super chat for now for a reason. Sean KB. Did we see Max Caster's tweet that he's selling his gear because he's strapped for cash and followed up with, I don't think I will need these anymore. Okay. I don't think it was a tweet. But for those, and I honestly was not going to bring this up tonight. For those that want to know the deal, this got all the buzz today. On eBay, Max Caster posted these tights. Starting bid $500. He posted this in the description. This set of gear has been worn on AEW Dynamite. I've worn this in matches against Chris Jericho, MJF, the Young Bucks, Jon Moxley, SCU, and more. Need some extra dollars this month, and I don't think I'll be needing this stuff anymore. Get it off my hands. We'll personalize an autograph on knee pads as a request. Perfect collector's item. So obviously, the net goes nuts, thinking that this guy is no longer going to be part of AEW. And I resisted.
Well,
I resisted.
Isn't that kind of why he did it?
Well,
so whether he is a part of AEW or not, regardless, that was the message he was trying to set. Like, he's not stupid. He knows what he's doing.
Well, yeah.
And he's making all these people go, oh my God, we got to get this. It's a piece of AEW
right, or
history.
talk about him.
Remember when he did that rap about rape?
Well, I resisted because, number one,
way too much money.
Yeah, it's a publicity stunt. Yes. Number two, he trolls. That's his character. He trolls. And as I prepared...
Oh, no. I guarantee you, if somebody gives him the right price on those tights, he's going to take that money.
Possible.
You think he's not going to sell?
Possible, but that auction, he pulled it within an hour of listing it.
Oh, he pulled it? Yeah.
He pulled it. He pulled it. He pulled out, everybody.
But if somebody turned around and said, I'll give you $10,000 for those tights, you know he would have sold it. You know he would have sold it.
I agree, but he pulled out. And why an hour after an auction you list it? Why would you suddenly close it? If he made a mistake in the listing, he could have just simply relisted it. Yeah. He pulled it. And remember, there was no reserve, so it could have gone as high as he wanted to. But
gone anywhere.
He got his name out there. Everybody started talking about it, forgetting, what he's about and the way he is. Do I think he needs money? Sure, absolutely. But this felt like a publicity stunt more than anything else. Obviously, only time will tell. But I thought it was a publicity stunt, and he pulled the auction. Now, look, for all I know, the auction could be up there again right now. So, but
it's kind of amazing. It really is kind of slick, and I'll give him some points on this. It's amazing to use eBay as a marketing tool. I think that was pretty intelligent.
Absolutely.
It really is. So, in order to defraud Google services, in order to get some talk time on social media, absolute bonus. I think that was a real smart move.
Especially when you add the comment
back and haunt you when you work for $1 million company, that you're defrauding their platform by putting up fake auctions just to get your name out there a little more. Good for you, dude. Awesome.
Especially when you add the line, I don't think I'll be needing these anymore.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, people, that's why I say, people reading into it however they want. Oh, my God, he's not in AEW anymore. Bravo, Max. Bravo. Yeah, man. I don't, look, I think what he said about rape was terrible. I think the Duke Cross stuff was uncalled for. Talking about Simone Biles is ridiculous. So he definitely made mistakes. But, if he's trolling everyone, if you're going to troll, You
He's
got to
either
do it
trolling
good.
or somebody got a hold of him and offered him a real offer for those things.
Possible.
That's the only thing I'm thinking is
Very
it's
possible.
a marketing scheme, it's a marketing troll, or some big money bag motherfucker out there said, here's a bag of cash with a giant dollar sign on it. I want those tights.
Speaking
Do
of...
you think somebody buys those and wears them, DT? Or do you think that they like display them somewhere, like like the family room or something? Or do you think that they actually wear them? I mean, I'm not saying like let's get gross
it's
and
a
ask
fair
them
argument.
to sniff the crotch or nothing. But I'm saying, do you think somebody actually wears them for their wrestling? You know,
it would look stupid for somebody to wear it as a wrestling outfit, but you know, if you buy it, store it away, and wait till this guy hits it huge. I mean, huge. Then you could say, oh, here's, Max so-and-so when he used to be Max Caster early in his career. You know.
Right.
So it's something to hold on to.
Sense.
So anyway, we're going to finish tonight with one more thing.
Okay.
WWE and Golden Auctions, which is a very famous auctioneer. They have announced a whole bunch of auctions leading into SummerSlam. One of them has to do with Vince McMahon. And Vince McMahon not only autographs, I guess, some of the $1 billion cash, that fake cash stuff, but a custom one-of-a-kind shirt that only one person would own. And I'm going to put it on the screen right now, and I'm going to reload the page so we know exactly what the current bid is. All right, this is some of the auctions right now.
Awesome.
You got on the left a pair of WrestleMania 38 All Access VIP tickets, meet and greet with The Undertaker. The funny thing is that when they did it as an NFT, the one, which is almost the identical package, sold for $100,000. Somebody paid $100,000 in the Undertaker NFT auction.
Absolutely.
If you look at the middle one, right now somebody bid $6,000 to go to WWE headquarters.
I will say this though.
What?
With that NFT bid, real quick, with that NFT bid, I think it was up for about 14 days or something like that, like 2 weeks. The bid was really, really like 10,000, which was still a lot, but it wasn't until the very last day that bid started skyrocketing. So you're looking at the price on some of this stuff here now, DT, and I bet you.
Oh, sure. It's going to skyrocket.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
This is the Vince McMahon item. That is the shirt. I'm trying to see if I could somehow zoom in on this. Let me see. Maybe I can. Hang on a second. Let me see. Hopefully I could still zoom. Yeah, I can. That's the shirt. Let me see if I could zoom a little bit further. Look, no chance in Vegas. You get the signed money also.
Who would even wear that shirt for that amount of money? That's the craziest thing.
Oh, no, I think it's framed. I think it would be framed.
Right.
Yeah, let's look at.
Even though it's framed, it makes less sense for it to have writing on the back.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, you're never going to wear that T-shirt because it costs you $100,000. But not only are you not going to wear a $100,000 T-shirt, you're going to keep it in a frame where you can't see the back of it anyways.
Yep.
Yeah.
The actual barbed wire bat that was used. You know what's funny, dude? I got to mention this. I'm going to take this off the screen for a minute because this is just an observation. This is an observation that I think a lot of you out there might agree with me. And of everything that we talked about tonight in the comment section, this is probably the one I would want you to comment the most on. They just did a TV series, WWE's Greatest Treasures, where they were trying to find a lot of their prized possessions from fans, and they were offering things for them. Remember that show that they just did? Doesn't it feel now that they got all of this stuff back with the intentions of this? I'm not kidding. Look,
no, it's
the
not,
actual
though, because they kept saying that they're building a museum, but you're totally right. That would be absolutely horrible that they ran this show for an entire season. They got Kane to give up his very second mask just so they can sell it off Wow, that would be a trip, dude.
I'm serious. Look at this. They're selling. I don't know for some reason. Oh, I could show you the bottom part. It was just Rocky cards.
What was withdrawn? Wait. What was that one withdrawn?
No, it didn't say. I think it was just a mistake because there was no description.
Oh, okay.
But you got original SummerSlam banners, the actual briefcase that Randy Orton cashed in on Daniel Bryan in 2013. Yeah. Brutus Beefcake's shears when he teamed up with Hogan versus. That's not in his museum.
That big boss man nightstick there. Hell's yeah.
I could see that ending up in a bad porn, but no, but I'm serious.
I wasn't thinking that, but that's a hell of an idea.
What, to use it in a porn?
Well, buy it, maybe give it to Tammy since she's looking for a new partner. No.
Yuck.
Well, she's got a new partner, right? So that's the big rumor, is that she finally found a co-star for herself that she's been looking for a while all over social media to find her new co-star. So
I don't know,
but that video to pop out on her OnlyFans.
Seriously, everyone, you look at that and you tell me you just do a TV show where you're hunting down all this stuff, and now you're putting up Brutus Beefcake shears, Boss Man's clubs, original SummerSlam banners, Money in the Bank briefcase. I mean, yeah, this I don't know, man. I think it's only a matter of time. One of these auctions is going to pop up, and you're going to have some really pissed off person. I gave this to them because he said it was going to a museum, and I got a phone call from the Undertaker. Now they're selling it on Golden Auctions. Oh my God, I can't wait. And seriously, if WWE does that, bravo to them. Seriously, that is balls. Do a whole TV show hunting stuff at a museum, and then it shows up in Golden Auctions. Oh man. That is beautiful. So, but anyway, with that said, everybody, we're going to jet out of here. Yeah, we stood an extra half hour because of the contest. We really got to cut this down. Last week, I added up. It was 3 hours and 22 minutes of less content because we ended the shows a little bit earlier. And I think it kind of reflected me a little bit. I slept pretty good. But, so don't forget.
You keep the shows a little bit shorter though, DT. You just get an alarm clock, or you get one of those stop timers on the actual computer, and it'll actually run down for you, and it'll you can have it play music, so it reminds you and stuff in the background.
Yeah. Whoever did this picture, I don't know who did it, but that is an awesome Photoshop job. That could very well be Friday. It could very well be Friday, but
very well could be.
Yeah. So, Benjamin, email me, dontony@dontony.com. Harris, the same as well. Or you could send me a DM on Twitter. I know both of you have access to that. So,
right.
And I'll take care of your prizes this week.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mish,
I'll
talk to you tomorrow. Yeah. We got an update on that comedians.
We'll cover a little bit of, absolutely.
Yeah. Don't forget, you got to come up with the topic for the next one.
Sure. And I've got a couple ideas for that, too.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Sex positions.
Somebody wants that contest, so
they want.
I'll leave it up to you, man.
Positions.
Yes.
I mean, do you think we can come up with 96 different sex positions?
I don't think we would do 96.
Oh.
I think we probably would start with
We do at least 69, though. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The comedians one turned out pretty epic, but we'll talk about it tomorrow.
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Much love, everybody.
Take care, everybody.
Peace.
So this goes back on the wall back there. Everyone, I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight. Fun show as always. Great show. Having Mish laugh his ass off earlier, this worth the price of admission. Worth the price of admission. So everyone, have a great night. Much love. If you are part of our Patreon tomorrow, right after NXT, Mish and I will be on the Patreon Discord doing another breakfast soup. If you want to check out the Patreon, it's patreon.com/DonTony. If you sign up there, like I said, you get access to hundreds of Patreon exclusive shows that are up there, ad-free episodes of everything else. And I always do the money back guarantee. If you don't like the page, I refund your money. Within a few days. I mean, can't stay there for 29 days saying, if you are not around tomorrow, I'll be back here Wednesday. We'll recap Dynamite, which should be a loaded show. It's funny that Dynamite is the flagship show and the main show, and everybody is just focused on Friday. It's going to be their biggest show, biggest attendance. They got to throw some major teas tomorrow. On Wednesday on Dynamite. Technically tomorrow, because it is now Tuesday morning. But everyone have a great night. As always, I ask on the way out, if you could hit that like button, smash that thumbs up, and post comment in the comment section. I know I didn't announce a contest for next week yet, because I think we're going to do trivia next week. So post comment anyway, and we'll figure out something good for next week. I have a couple of ideas. I have plenty of Bray Wyatt gyms and holiday boxes. I got some wild collectible stuff. I have a Steve Austin item from 2000 that is sealed that I was going through some boxes last week. So I have a couple of ideas. We'll come up with something big next week. But I want to thank you all for tuning in. And I'm going to jet out of here. So much love, everyone. Big shout out to our VIP family. Don't forget, if you are a VIPer, an elite member of my channel, don't forget to downgrade your membership from $9.99 to $4.99. I am getting rid of the $9.99 tier. I think it's too much of a money grab, in my opinion. I have a Q&A that I recorded 2 weeks ago, and I got sick. Then a few of you posted some late questions. So yesterday I said, I'll just do it over again. And then, we got blindsided yesterday with stuff going on. So, but don't forget to downgrade. You don't lose anything. You're actually going to get a little bit more. But, I'm going to be eliminating that tier at the end of the month. So we're already at the 17th of August. There will be a contest for all the channel members, the predictions contest for SummerSlam. So that'll be posted on Friday, probably right after SmackDown. This way, everybody, could have about 16 hours to post their entry, and there'll be one on Patreon too. So, so all the details will be coming up. So I wish everybody a good night. Hope you had a good time tonight. A lot of laughs, a lot of serious talk as well, and a lot of wrestling mixed in. I think that's kind of our lives, if you really think about it, just overall. But had a great time tonight, and I thank you all for your support as always. Peace out, as Lee just said, and catch you all again either tomorrow on Patreon or here Wednesday after AEW. So good night, everybody. Take care.
I always wanted to be a podcaster. For me to...
it would be freaking nice if it started at the beginning, right? Man, I hate the little technical difficulties like that, but that's all right. I fixed it.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a podcaster. For me to live any other way was nuts. To me, those goody-good people who worked shitty jobs for bum paychecks and took the subway to work every day and worried about their bills were dead. I mean, they were suckers. They had no balls. If I wanted something, I just took it. I ran everything. I paid the bills. I paid the hosts. I even paid the masked maniac. Everybody had their hands out. Everything was for the taking. We always called each other good fellas. You would always hear from somebody. You're gonna like Don Tony. He's all right. He's a good fella. He's one of us. But if you're part of my crew, nobody ever tells you they're gonna get rid of you. It doesn't happen that way. There weren't any arguments or curses like in the movies. See, your haters come with smiles. They come as your friends, the people who've claimed they care the most for your life. And now that's all over. And that's the best part. Today everything is different. There's lots of action. I don't have to wait around for everything like everyone else. Oh, I didn't get the vaccine? Fuck you, vaccine me. Oh, your delivery guy has COVID? Fuck you, feed me. Right after I moved here, I ordered egg noodles and ketchup. and I got spaghetti with meat sauce. I'm no longer an average nobody, while they get to live the rest of their lives like a bunch of schnooks.